Hello, everybody. I just wanted to wish everybody out there a Happy New Year. At the time of this video, Christmas stuff is still out, but the New Year's time has not quite rolled in, so we're in that little gray zone between the two holidays. And the food is still smelling good, and the air is still nice and crisp. And I wanted to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Profitable, prosperous, mostly happy, mostly sane New Year coming up. I also wanted to thank everybody out there who's taking time out of their busy days, out of their busy schedules, to watch my little videos. It's, I know that my numbers aren't all that huge, but every single one of you counts, and I'm very grateful for everybody who just takes their time just to watch, and also are very nice to me in the comments. Thank you very much. The legendary wicked tongue of commenters on YouTube is, like I said, legendary, and I get very little currently of my time doing this. Has gotten very few nasty, vicious, ire type comments, and I am oh so thankful for that. I also want to thank you out there who have given me suggestions on different types of bourbons and rums and beers and things to try. I wish I had the selection that had that I was able to, but I'm just a blue collar guy in the middle of nowhere Americana. As I've told people who've asked me, where are you? I go to the people who are living in a place you would never, ever, ever want to go to, just absolute pit, and ask them where they would not want to go. Yeah, I'm their neighbor. Okay. So my selection of bourbons and rums and beers and wines are quite small. What I don't want to say hate, but really kind of irks me is that there is some really tasty stuff around here. I mean, for a blip on a map, and I know this place is bigger than a blip, but when you compare it to everywhere else on the map, this place has some very tasty beers. Some of the best tasting bourbon is from what they call the bottoms of this little city. Some wines not too far out in the suburbs down south. It's amazing when you start scratching around, and try to see wherever you're at. Just swallow that pride hard, and go, all right, where is the mom and pop back door? No one but the locals know that they even exist. What do they have? And like I said, I'm delightfully surprised at how well some of the stuff is, and not so surprised when it's not so well. And I'm contradictory there, but when you've got like a place that sells, we've like 4, maybe 5 bourbon distilleries that I'm aware of in this little city, they call it. And like I said, one of them, I've yet to taste anything bad out of it. But then again, I'm looking at the mid-level to the bottom level. Now, same tongue. You go north of this place to where there's a distillery called McCormick, and well, they're nice people. I probably should not have said their name, but they're nice. The tour, nice tour. They got a really good look, a good looking tasting room. I will give them that. But there's, like I said, some distilleries I've yet to take their tour, but I've tried their mid-range things and just thought this is heaven in a glass. So yeah, if you guys get the chance, check out your local. It's not going to get much further than the borders of, as far as your eye can see, as far as they can sell. Try them. But Christmas, it's a Christmas blend from one of the local tobacconists. I thought I gave it all to my son. Yeah. Anyways, but I give the local a try. It's always best to, in my opinion, shop local because you support local. Your money stays local. Local, all that sort of stuff. All that good stuff, all that good theory goes on. But when I first started to do um, this channel, it was not meant to um, telling the world how I feel. It was actually meant as a library to tell me how I feel. So I can go online instead of a notebook. I go onto YouTube, type in my channel name, the name of the bourbon, how did I feel about it. So this is really a message to me future, and I have to say I've rarely ever used it. It has turned into a delightful excuse to try new and different things. And what has continued that on is that you guys out there have latched onto it and went, yeah, is that stuff any good? I've seen it on the shelf. I only have so much money, blue collarish, or even rich people are having a hard time these days. Only got so much cash. This is clearly a luxury. Is it worth my money? And yeah, I'm glad it has turned into that. And I'm glad you guys out there being very kind with your comments. And like I said, I'm very glad you guys suggest. I just wish my selection out here was able to get me to try many of the suggestions you guys have. I mean, some of the ones you come out with, I'm just like, they do that? That brand has that? That sounds delicious. That sounds fascinating. In the meantime, when I look on the shelf, it's like, there's no way is it even around here. So, this coming new year, it's just like several years ago when I announced before, it's like, guys might start getting more and more coffee, more and more teas. I will try to make sure that the coffee and the teas are more, not just local stuff, because like I said, we have a nice array in city, and the city is not very big, and I know you guys are from all over the place, so it's not very fair to go, you must try this bourbon when there's no way you're ever even going to be near this little armpit of the world to even try it. So I will do my best to try to presume that it is a brand that can be acquired outside of the range of yada yada yada. So I do know there'll be more coffee ones coming up. A lot of them for Keurig, if you have a Keurig machine. This is because it takes so long to get through a bag of coffee to warrant going out and buying another bag of coffee. And even if it's a small bag, it takes a while. I can only drink so much coffee before I can warrant purchasing another $10, $12 bag of coffee. I'm not saying nothing bad. It's just that's the way it is. Keurig, on the other hand, the wife's got a Keurig machine, so she goes out, finds something interesting. Hooray! I got something to review. I go use my mocha maker and do my regular ground coffees. It's all covered. I want to start to try getting a bit more on the teas. It's been recommended in the past about, you guys are like, can do some more teas. We'll try. There's been some past recommendations about wines. Now, pardon me, behind the facade, my family has made wines, but they're home winemakers. Pardon me again. They're home winemakers. So, not exactly. It's more than just somebody who just drinks a glass or two, but not a whole lot more on just some dude who drinks a glass or two, then makes it so he drinks more glasses of wine. What my dad used to do a lot. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see on that. The problem I have with the wine is selection around here is fairly small. When I was first dating the missus, we went into a generic alcohol type store thing, went to the wine selection, and she's amazed all the different bottles and labels and everything. And I went and I looked around and went, it's kind of a small selection. She sort of stared at me with slack jawed, and I'm like, no, you're looking at this wrong, hon. There is Merlot, there's Sauvignon, there is Cabernet, there's a Cabernet Sauvignon, and you come down to it, there's like 5. After that, it's brands. Now, every brand has their spin on what it is, but you need to figure out, do you like Merlot versus a Cab versus a Sauvignon versus, and it's not that big of a list. So, yeah, there might be some wine coming into this because, you go back to the economics of it all. Wine's fairly cheap. It's easy to get through a bottle. I haven't bought a bottle in a long time. I guess for me, it's easy to get through a box. So, let you know where my budget is these days. But that might be more coming in. I'm just a little leery on the one for some odd reason. Beers maybe making a comeback, but like I said, it's hard to figure out what is national brand, and the Mississippi is a big deal as well. I mean, you guys may or may not know, in the United States, the Mississippi tends to be a cutoff line. So if you are west of the Mississippi, you've got brands. If you're east of the Mississippi, you've got different brands. Every so often, something will cross. Your McDonald's, your Budweiser, your things along that line. But Yuenglings, been around for a long, long time. Only recently crossed the Mississippi River. Only recently have I been able to go and indulge in the Yuengling again. Well, I never really indulged it when I was east of the Mississippi. But still, the point is, the Mississippi tends to be a cutoff line for a lot of brands. So when you guys suggest something, understand. I may not be getting it, even though it may seem like a big brand, the Mississippi cutoff. Also the fact that I live in the middle of nowhere, selection's small. Excuse. So if you guys are kind, please keep remaining kind and just give that as understanding, but please suggest. It's always helpful because then I have an idea of what exactly you guys have the taste for, at least at that moment. No matter how big or how small, do not care. Feedback, always important. Please. But let's go put an end to this long rant of have a good year coming up. Hopefully it's prosperous. Hopefully, mainly, that it's happy. Until next time, keep on breathing. Happy New Year!